What made you call the police on your own mother? My 7-year-old sister Daniela was singing in the backseat behind me when a truck ran the red light and slammed into us at top speed. By the time the car stopped flipping, Daniela became permanently silent. After hours trying to save her, the doctors told us she was gone. Mom climbed into the hospital bed and pulled Daniela against her chest, rocking her for 3 hours. Mommy's here, baby. Dad just stood frozen when the nurses pried my sister from Mom's arms, and while they fought, I threw up knowing I survived and Daniela didn't. The first few weeks blurred together with Mom crying in Daniela's room for hours. Dad would hold her shoulders and whisper that everything would be okay. I kept making her chamomile tea, but the cups always went cold on the nightstand. She couldn't stop staring at Daniela's things long enough to drink them. Our grief therapist said this was normal and everyone processes loss differently. So we didn't worry when Mom started making Daniela's bed every morning or arranged the stuffed animals in perfect rows just how Daniela liked them. We thought maybe this ritual was helping her cope with the loss. On the day Daniela would have turned 9, Mom showed up with a wrapped birthday present saying she'd already bought it before the accident. An obvious lie, but Dad and I let it slide because what harm could one gift do to an already broken family? A month later, Mom walked through the door carrying a life-size doll that looked exactly like Daniela with real human hair in her exact shade. She sat me down to show how she could brush his hair just like Daniela's bedtime routine. I forced myself to nod, my heart breaking from the desperate sight. The next few days spiraled out of control. Mom dressed the doll in new outfits every morning and took it everywhere in Daniela's wagon. She did both voices like the doll could actually respond. People at the mall grabbed their children and hurried away from us. Dad found the $3,000 credit card charge. When he confronted her, she clutched the doll screaming, "You can't put a price on our daughter." He started sleeping on the couch that night. Things got worse when she pulled me out of school claiming it was too dangerous. She set up homeschooling with 3 place settings at our kitchen table. Week after week, I sat there watching her teach that doll alongside me until one morning I couldn't take it anymore. One morning I finally snapped and said, "Stop it. Daniela is gone." Mom sobbed, "You abandoned her in that car and now you're doing it again." The guilt hit me so hard I couldn't breathe. "I'm here too," I mumbled while she cradled that doll like a real child while tears streamed down her face. 2 weeks after Dad left, Mom started acting strange. She'd leave the doll behind and disappear, returning with stories about her wonderful new friend and the woman's precious daughter. I found her phone with Daniela's photo replaced by a stranger's child. "She has Daniela's exact laugh," Mom said behind me, her eyes glittering. At noon, the doorbell rang and Mom flew to answer feverishly. An exhausted woman stood there clutching her purse, thanking Mom over and over for babysitting. Behind her, a girl about 11 with dark hair hung back, clearly uneasy. "Take all the time you need," Mom purred in a voice I'd never heard before. The second their car turned the corner, something in Mom's face shifted into pure predator. She grabbed the girl's wrist hard enough to leave marks and dragged her toward Daniela's room. "Welcome home, baby." The girl's confusion turned to fear. "My name's not Daniela, it's Katie," she whispered. The sound of Mom's palm hitting her face made me flinch. "You are Daniela," Mom shrieked. Everything accelerated into a nightmare. Mom commanded Katie to undress, but when she shook her head, Mom grabbed the scissors from Daniela's desk. Katie tried to bolt, but Mom caught her by the hair. I watched, frozen in horror as she cut through Katie's clothes with violent precision, humming Daniela's lullaby. Katie stood there exposed and sobbing while Mom forced Daniela's tiny dress over her head. The bathroom became a torture chamber. Mom dragged the screaming girl in while I watched in horror. Through the mirror, I watched Mom slather bleach on her hair. "I want my mommy," she wailed. "I am your mommy," Mom cooed. "God gave you back to me." In one desperate moment when Mom turned for more dye, Katie scooped bleach and smeared it across Mom's eyes. Mom's scream was inhuman as she clawed at her face. Katie sprinted out and yelled for help. I flew downstairs and dove into the pantry with my phone. I whispered frantically to 911 while Katie's sobs mixed with Mom's rage above us. Those minutes waiting for sirens felt like hours. When they finally broke down Daniela's door, they found Mom sitting calmly on the bed, brushing both Katie's hair and the doll's. "My 2 Danielas have finally met," she announced proudly. Katie threw herself at the officers while Mom fought like a wild animal, screaming, "Don't take my babies again," even as they wrestled her into handcuffs. The little girl's mom placed a restraining order on our family, and Mom's been institutionalized 8 months now. Last time I visited, she grabbed my hand and whispered, "I forgive you for sending Daniela away again." She smiled, and for a moment I thought I saw a glimpse of Mom I had before the crash, until she mentioned another patient had Daniela's exact laugh. After that, Dad and I cleaned out Daniela's room together and donated everything, including that horrible doll.